All right, welcome everybody to our pre-conference planner for SC1. It is possible that this could be the most important manager meeting of the summer. Certainly, I would say for some people, this meeting today and the impact we're going to create could be the most important meeting that we have, and the people that it's most important for probably aren't even in this room. Okay, in some cases that may be, but I wanted to get you guys to think about something to get us in the right mindset for what we're going to talk about tonight. We're having our first live summer region event in at least a few years. The climate of a lot of things has changed, is a lot different, just in the way the business is happening. You know, we got virtual stuff, etc. We've got just different mindset of people out there in the world.
Okay.
And we've got some.
We'll take it one
Yeah.
on one.
Hey, Austin, thank you for chiming in. I appreciate it. We got we just got a lot of newness. But it's kind of a back to the future thing. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of reps. Maybe I would say hundreds of reps that don't have any idea really what's going on in Vector because they haven't experienced really was pivotal to a lot of us, a live event, where they can catch the fire, catch the vibe. The little message I sent out, I mentioned a young man, Kevin Blaine. I went back and watched my message, and I said he was a #1 All-American in the fall. What really happened, it wasn't the fall, it was the summer. He came to SC1 2 weeks into the business, had sold $1,000, $1,500, something like that, and then just basically saw a push period, saw people achieving at higher levels, and just changed his complete mindset about what this job, what was possible, and went on to sell like $50,000 in the summer and was the #1 All-American. This happens all the time. I mean, this kind of thing happens a lot. So the question, why is it important that we make SC1 great? That is the question. That is the question I'm wanting you to ponder. And I'm going to give you guys a chance, 5 minutes to talk about it, 5 minutes to talk about it in a breakout. I think it's important that everybody gets a chance to vocalize something. What's in your mind about why it's important to make it great. You can think about why it's important to make it great for you, why it's important to make it great for your reps. Just when I think about it, I think about, the next 2 to 3 years of the Southland division and the South Coast division and the LA division and the Western region. I think a lot about how, latching on to the right people, making the right impression on the right people can make a big difference. So I just am curious of what comes to mind when you think that. So let's go ahead and do some quick share outs. Who heard something or said something that you feel like will have impact for the group? Who heard something or said something will have impact for the group? John Baker.
Caleb Black mentioned the idea of just getting a chance to network in person with somebody, like you hear a good talk and then getting a chance to talk about it with somebody, and those little side conversations that are really valuable.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to pick on John because John's awesome and usually does breakout share outs right. When you're going to come out of a breakout, this is for you guys to always do anytime you come out of a breakout, especially when you're on Zoom, especially if you got reps with you, even when you're in a live meeting. If we do a breakout and you have a little interaction with 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, and you share. First thing you want to do is you want to name every person that was in your breakout. You give people recognition in every possible turn. So you would say our breakout, we had Caleb, Black, Tommy, Keelan, me, and Kuval, and a lot of good things said, but boy, Caleb nailed blank, 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 blank. Make sense? Always do it that way. And you guys set the tone at the conference. We're going to have interactions. One good interaction where you'll get a chance to do share outs. You be sure to lead the share outs and teach and set the example of how share outs always happen. There you go. Excellent. John and Caleb. 2 more. Jeremy, the Blau Master.
What's up? I was in a breaker room, me, Hayes, NJ, and Mr. Keller himself. One thing that I was thinking about going into the breakout was just all focused on reps, because it was definitely an open-ended question. I was thinking about reps, and Evan brought up the idea of how important it is for managers just to almost just take a step back and evaluate where we're at for the summertime. And it's like a really upfront statement, like, hey, well, a lot of us might be behind our goals for the summer, right? Like, you can't trick the numbers with something that Evan said. And it's just an opportunity to get some key people going through the summer. And it really takes like one person getting really energized by an SC1 to go out and go ship 30, 40, 50 grand during the summertime to go get fired up. But nobody does that unless they see why they should do that. And I think that's why we have these big events. Shoot, we haven't had an SC1 since 2019. Like, that's pretty cool. Since I was a sales manager, like, that's wild. And even just thinking about that, even one person goes off, like a Ben Lee when he was a rep, like, goes off, wins over, like, just goes crazy in the region.
Yeah.
What kind of culture can that create for your team? So I was thinking about it from the rep side, but definitely a good reminder from Evan for sure. So that's what I'm thinking about.
So much value in that, and I love the fact that dynamic happened, right? As a manager, I think as a district manager or branch manager, what you should be thinking is about your reps. That's really where 95% of your focus should be. And you should not necessarily be thinking about what it could do for you. I mean, it's in there, but as a division manager, Evan and Kevin and me, we're thinking about the reps, of course, but we have this added layer. You know, we know what it can do for any of you guys, right? To have one rep, two. Wow, what if you had 3 reps and all 3 just caught fire? I mean, imagine the power of something like that, and not just what they sell, but just the energy that they bring to everything, right? We've had some examples of that already. Francisco Mondragon, had a really good impact on the Covina team early in the summer. He was selling, but just his energy and some of his PRs and things like that make a difference. All right, excellent. Well, let's move on. Those are really good shares. First, I want to go ahead and just get into the agenda. And I talked to you guys on a little video about, your job here is not to just be at the meeting. Okay, super important, and hopefully you're fully engaged in what we're talking about today, so you can take that and be fully engaged in what we're going to be doing on Wednesday. Let me give you guys the agenda here. Let's see what's on. I got lots of things open, and I probably shouldn't have so many things open. Here we go. Good. Okay. So here's what I have for the agenda. This agenda, everyone has been sent a link to this agenda. If you need it again, ask me one time, but don't keep asking me over and over. Save it somehow. Okay. Bookmark it, whatever else, bookmark it, and then get rid of the bookmark after Wednesday. All right. I need to describe to you guys what we expect to be happening from 1 to 1:45. Okay. We had thought before, Evan and Kevin and I were thinking about, well, we're just not going to start this meeting till around 2, but the fact of the matter is, perhaps the most important part of the meeting is going to be happening between 1 and 1:45. And this is the cutting clinic. And my vision for this, and I can see it happening. Some of you guys haven't been in the meeting room where we're going to be, but when people, they're going to have a little registration table, they're going to register, they're going to name tag, got name tags, got lanyards for name tags. People are going to be able to wear them around their neck so they, can see and know who people are. It's super important, because there'll be people that you might have talked to 25 times, but since their name isn't in the bottom left-hand corner where they are, you can't remember their names. Okay, so name tags will be very important. And they walk in, and in the room there are tables scattered around. There will be a Cutco booth, like a booth at a LA County Fair type of booth, that's going to be manned by a couple of FSMs, and they need to be there by like 11:30, by the way, Kevin. Okay, they need to be there super early, because it takes an hour, or I don't know, set that thing up. But by 1 o'clock, that needs to be completely ready, rock and roll. People walk in, and there's a trimmer station, and at the trimmer station is 1 or 2 assistant managers, a whole bunch of either grapes or cherry tomatoes, some cutting boards, and some trimmers. And the reps basically just get a chance to actually cut something with these trimmers that they have. They may or may not even have a trimmer yet, but they're going to be cutting. We have a petite carver station. We're actually going to teach them how to do the rope cutting test, right? they'll be the customer. We'll just do the rope cutting test over and over and over and over again. Probably we'll have a couple of people in my office that I know, old schoolers like an NJ or someone like that, or Jason, if he's there, that I know how to do the rope cutting demo the right way. We'll do the rope cutting demo. We'll have a peeler station where people just peel carrots. Anybody can man that, pretty simple. These names that are here, these names aren't correlated to what's right here. These just happen to be names of people that we feel like are going to be there. A slicer station. This is another one that either Madison or NJ, probably somebody, because I have a certain way I like to do cutting white bread with slicers. Anyway, we got the slicer station. We'll teach them how to do what I'm teaching them how to do is how to do some of these things that they often would do in a live demo, like a live face-to-face demo. Hardy slicer station, couple of Hardy slicers. Sweet potatoes we decided might be too dangerous because they're hard to cut. And we don't want people pushing hard. So we're probably going to have like 300 apples and people can cut an apple in half and then eat half an apple. And then table knife station where we actually let them do the leather cutting demo. I also plan to have little baggies of rope and leather for reps to take with them. Okay, so they'll have rope and leather that they can, their next 2 to 3, 5 demos that they could do, they'll have rope and leather to take with them. Okay, so this is going to be out for 45 minutes. Your job, okay, I'm going to be focusing in on your facilitation. Your job to facilitate is going to be to make sure that your reps visit all the stations, take them to them, introduce them to the person that is there. And your job is to be an amazing host. Think about if you're hosting a party, you know, your job is to be aware. And this is where a lot of us fall short, you guys. A lot of us get into a room, you know, I'll pick on veterans because they won't mind. John and John Baker and John Roach haven't seen each other in a long time. And so they want to go, hey, Jay, what's up? You know, high five, talk. Guess who you're not supposed to talk to at all at this meeting? Other managers. Okay. I don't want to see any conversations going on with any other managers except, hey, Austin, I want you to meet our top rep in our office, Jimmy. That's the only conversation I want to see happening between managers. Okay. Unless you have a question for me about the meeting or something like that, you guys should be focused, hyper aware on reps at all times, sitting with the reps when the meeting starts, not wandering in the back, you know, that type of thing. Like we got to be in with them. We need to set an example, taking notes example. If they see you take what they see you doing, they're gonna mimic, right? So that's like critically important. So it's not about you at the cutting clinic or at the meeting. It is about those reps. We need to keep that going. Okay, that's the cutting clinic. There'll be a slideshow. It's possible that some office names will be popped up on the slideshow. So you need to be aware when you see your office name, and you need to tell telling your reps, hey, anytime they say the name of our office or say the name of our division, or you see it up on the screen, we're going crazy. Okay. I thought I had this nailed for our meeting last, our first division meeting, but we didn't. We did not nail it. Okay. We did not nail it. The energy level of our management team was good, but it wasn't first division meeting of the summer good. Okay. Here's what I mean. When they announce, you know, is anybody from the West LA team here? Okay. There's got to be some energy coming from West LA, even if it's just one manager screaming his head off. Okay. It might not seem cool, but that's how you get reps to realize, oh, it's okay to let loose here. Okay. And it's okay if some of them think it's a little weird. I walked into my meeting. You've heard the story, some of you. I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. And I really didn't like it. It even made me uncomfortable, but it changed a lot of my my outlook. When you guys get introduced and you come up on stage in these opening comments that I'm talking about right now, when I call up when Evan comes up and he announces the South Coast people and he says, you know, Manager Emily, Manager John, Manager Jeremy, whatever, right? You clap for your teammates. You don't just wait for people to clap for you. You clap for your teammates. And when you come up on stage, you high five everybody who's already on stage. You don't just ignore them, okay? Right? Make no mistake about a conference, you guys. We are putting on a show. Everything you do is under a microscope, or you should think of it as under a microscope, right? I think about every little thing, and I think somebody's looking at this and making determinations about things in our business, who we are, what we're all about, based on every little thing. Okay. So you come up, you're excited to see your fellow managers. You're high-fiving, right? You're running up on stage, or at least walking with purpose, right? You're not, and when they start announcing names, you don't stand in the very back of the room until they call your name and then come up. You know, go ahead and move on up, right? We're going to have to keep this thing moving super fast. All right. So these are ways, when I talked about you're facilitating, you're part of the show. Okay. Really, really important. Who to talk to, who not to talk to. Talked about that. Throughout the meeting, everything is awesome. Okay. If something's not going the way, a speaker falls off the wall and smashes it into little pieces, you know what? That's awesome. Oh my God, that is awesome. You guys, this is the first time I've ever been at a conference and I've seen a speaker smash. Write that down. This is a historic event, right? Everything is awesome in some way or another, and you got to make sure every little thing. And by the way, you could be depressed, right? You could choose to be depressed at this meeting because your top rep, I don't want to jinx anybody, but your top rep that you're most fired up about being at this meeting, guess what's going to happen that morning? I don't even want to talk about it. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen in some of these cases, right? So you can let yourself succumb to the ugliness in the gut that happens and always does, or you could just say, can't change it. Can't change that right now. And hey, God forbid somebody's there and all your reps bail. But if that happens, hey, I get to be a service. I get to be a service to my fellow managers and my fellow team. Okay. You got to figure out how to give your all regardless of the situation, because this meeting is not about us. It's not about us. It's about them.